Hello everybody and welcome to Wednesday's Gaming News Roundup video. My name is Gareth Evans, this is Mr. Henry Cooper, and we've got a lot to get through today. More stories than ever before, isn't that something? Bethesda have been following a lot of industry trends recently. Trends such as developing mobile spin-off games that nobody asked for, pursuing games as a service that nobody likes, and releasing half-finished buggy as hell games. Well, to be fair, they were doing that way before everybody else. However, they are now bucking a recent industry trend by not ditching the Steam store. In a tweet confirming this, Bethesda announced that Rage 2, Doom Eternal, Wolfenstein Youngblood, and Wolfenstein Cyberpilot will all be coming to Steam. Bethesda have their own games launcher for PC, but in this move, which will please most Steam devotees, they decided not to launch their upcoming games as exclusives. They also confirmed that Fallout 76 will be coming to Steam later in the year. I don't expect as many people are pleased about that one. Fallout 76 has been an exclusive to Bethesda launcher on PC since it launched in November last year. The game has struggled to impress players since arriving and has been derided en masse due to, amongst other criticisms, its lack of polish and imagination. However, Bethesda have not given up on the game just yet, with Fallout 76 getting an update yesterday which introduces a new high-stakes PvP game mode. It's called Survival Mode and will remove most penalties and restrictions on PvP in the game.
So
keeping you updated. I mean, that's my general reaction when thinking about Fallout 76.
Yeah.
I'll let you off. Whether the new update will rejuvenate interest in the title is yet to be seen. Obviously, Henry isn't as impressed as some people might be, but PvP mode was one of the things that going into the launch of this game, everyone was like, oh, we don't want Fallout to be online, we'll just get griefed all the time. So hearing that feedback, Bethesda made Fallout 76 to be as griefless as possible, right? It's really difficult to get any decent PvP experience in the vanilla Fallout 76, you could say, because you get punished. If you shoot someone randomly, you'll get like a big marker on your head, you'll get punished, and also the weapons do very little damage until the person attacks you back as well. So you're literally shooting them with pea shooters until they engage in the PvP. And so they corrected all of that and literally gone back to the drawing board and thrown out it's almost like gamers don't know what they want, right?
Almost.
Gamers asked for this like dumbed down PvP. They got it. And I mean, they're introducing this higher stakes PvP now. So what does that tell you?
Bethesda are just going to piss more people off by trying to please everyone. They tried to please the people who don't want PvP by limiting it. Now they're trying to impress the people who do want it by promoting it. But the people who don't want it are going to be really annoyed. They're just going to...
Well, the original mode's still there. So for the people who don't want to be griefed, they just want to pretend it's still a single player game, they can still do that. But for the people who do want PvP, they've got that choice now. So choice is always the best thing, right? Give people a choice and they won't backlash. And just so long as your game's good. But
they won't backlash?
Yeah, that was a bit ambitious.
This is the internet.
Scratch that. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
EA announced yesterday that they're laying off 350 staff. In a statement by EA CEO Andrew Wilson posted to the company's website under the heading of updating our organization and addressing our challenges, he explains that we're making deliberate moves to better deliver on our commitments, refine our organization, and meet the needs of our players. As part of this, we have made changes to our marketing and publishing organization, our operations teams, and we are ramping down our current presence in Japan and Russia as we focus on different ways to serve our players in those markets. Great games will continue to be at the core of everything we do.
Just leave it for now. Let's let him carry on. Let him carry on. Let him have his word.
And we're thinking differently about how to amaze and inspire our players.
Oh, come on now. Nobody's buying that, Andrew. I let you off on the first instance, but there's nothing amazing about the way that Anthem launched, right? There's nothing amazing about that, right? Tell me what's amazing about any of the games that you've published recently, apart from amazed at how rude you are with all your microtransactions. And that's the very British way of putting it.
Yeah, you're just so rude. But we make brilliant games and we inspire.
I'm taking a more diplomatic approach today. He's rude. They're being rude. That's just
he's a tosser.
My new approach. Well, say what you want.
Unfortunately for Andrew Wilson, while EA still pay him tens of millions of dollars in salary plus bonus every year, cutting around 350 jobs for the good of the company just doesn't really seem all that genuine.
Yeah, this is not the first company this year to be laying off people. I mean, we saw recently Activision Blizzard laying off a few. How many was that?
It was like 800. Yeah,
that's a lot of people.
Again, in the same sort of positions in like marketing, publishing, less developmental roles.
I mean, the question mark over all this is they're still making so much money, right? But I guess it's just a business decision to refocus their business. But isn't the point of making layoffs is that you can't afford those staff, right? Not just a restructuring. I don't know exactly how it works. I mean, it just seems wrong, right? Like when they're making money hand over fist and they're paying off their investors and they're making money. Everyone's making money. They're netted 250 billion or something million. I don't know how much it is. There's so much money involved in all of this. It seems wrong that these people have to lose their jobs. But I don't know, maybe they're better in the long run getting away from EA. I mean, maybe if that's any sort of consolation to them. But again, it's never good to talk about people losing jobs, but such is the industry right now. In a move which made Nintendo Direct look awesome in comparison, Sony hosted their first ever State of Play stream on Monday evening. And what a state it was. It was actually pretty exciting for fans of PlayStation VR, with a whole bunch of game announcements such as Marvel's Iron Man VR, Five Nights at Freddy's VR, and No Man's Sky VR. They also promised more VR games coming during the course of spring and summer. Sony went on to announce on their blog that they have sold a total of 4.2 million PSVR units to date, which is pretty impressive. But for non-PlayStation VR owners, it was a different story. All we got was Ready Set Heroes, a fast-paced multiplayer dungeon crawler, and Observation, a first-person sci-fi thriller. There were a couple of fresh updates and trailers thrown into the mix too, a release date for Blood and Truth, a Days Gone story trailer, and Mortal Kombat 11 story trailer, among others. This was probably less impressive overall than people were expecting from Sony. It certainly didn't excite us here at PGG, but this was their first ever State of Play. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I feel like they could have done so much more here, right?
So much potential for the big games coming out, but they homed in on VR.
Yeah. They're pushing VR, and it kind of makes sense for them because they are the market leaders, you would say, in VR now. 4.2 million units sold in VR. They want to harness that install base. They want to harness that money-making potential, pushing VR like they have done for the last year or two. Almost to the point where everything else doesn't get as much coverage as VR. I feel like they're offering a lot for VR enthusiasts, which is always great. And we mentioned earlier about giving consumers choice. If you want a kind of relatively inexpensive in for VR, like if you want the VR experience at a relatively reasonable price, you can get that with PlayStation VR now, and they're bringing out full-on fleshed out VR games, which, if you're into that and you want that choice, it's there for you thanks to PlayStation and Sony, so you can't really knock that. It's
a wasted opportunity more than anything. The biggest trailer that I cared about was Days Gone, a game that comes out in about a month, and I didn't need another trailer for. So,
how dare they not meet our expectations?
We're so entitled.
God almighty. Don't they not know that we're gamers? We deserve this. We deserve news about Last of Us. We deserve news about Death Stranding. What the hell are you playing at?
There are some people who are genuinely saying that. I'm glad this happened still. It's more games. It's still more games.
Yeah.
Like, I would have liked to have seen a bigger one, but I don't wish this didn't happen. And it means that they can do better next time.
Don't be sorry. Do better. Right?
Don't be sorry. Do better.
That's Dad of War's slang. I use that all the time.
Boy.
With my kids. I do. Don't be sorry. Just do better.
And then you throw a bow and arrow at them. It's like, go get the magic deer or whatever it was.
I'm sorry.
Do not be sorry. Be better.
In similar news, IZ at Xbox is a new indie-focused video series by Microsoft, and we got our first episode yesterday. It showed off titles like Mobius Digital's Outer Wilds, not the Outer Worlds, an open-world exploration indie game, and Afterparty made by Oxenfree devs Night School. IZ at Xbox, or Independent Developers at Xbox, was announced by Phil Harrison at Gamescom back in August 2013. The idea of the program is to allow indie developers to self-publish their games to Xbox and Windows with the help of Microsoft.
So that's 4 stories down and more to come, but first, the moment you've all been waiting for, it's the Daily News Nuggets. I should stop calling them daily, they're not daily anymore.
They're really not daily, are they?
Never mind.
We're shit, obviously.
Nuggets are awesome, though.
No, Nuggets are the best bit.
Moons of Madness is an upcoming cosmic horror game, which mixes the scientific exploration of Mars with the supernatural dread of Lovecraft. It's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC around Halloween time.
Remedy's Control got a new gameplay trailer. For those who missed the announcement recently, the game will arrive on August the 27th. Deluxe editions and pre-order bonuses have also been revealed.
The classic arcade beat-em-up series Streets of Rage makes a return with Streets of Rage 4. We got a new gameplay trailer showing off 2 playable characters and updated graphics.
Bethesda's critically acclaimed The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind has been made available for free for people who log on to the Bethesda launcher over the next week. The plan was that it would be to celebrate the 25th anniversary of the game, but some users have reported problems with claiming the game, like being unable to log in or using the codes. The game will be available for free until March the 31st.
A new racing mode arrived to Red Dead Online yesterday. Target Races essentially combines conventional races with death matches, when you can take out your opponents as well as winning the race.
A new update has arrived for Metro Exodus, which adds a new Game Plus mode. According to developer 4A Games, the mode also allows you to adjust a range of variables to create your own personal and uniquely challenging experience, and comes with new achievements/trophies. The patch comes in at 6 GB.
Sony will no longer be selling game download codes in retail stores from April the 1st. DLC packs and virtual currency will still be available, but if you want to buy games, you'll have to do it through the PlayStation Store.
CD Projekt Red have announced that the Witcher card game spin-off Gwent is coming to smartphones later this year. Perfect for those who like to take a shit on opponents while also taking a dump.
Indie sensation Dead Cells is getting free DLC this week on Thursday, March the 28th. The Rise of the Giant DLC is accompanied by an animated trailer and will feature 2 new levels and new bosses.
We got a trailer for Cradle Games' upcoming title Hellpoint. The dark indie action RPG game launches in the summer and is coming to PC and consoles.
Daedalic Entertainment have announced that they're making a Lord of the Rings game all about Gollum. Not much is known about the title, but it will come in 2021 and is a narrative-driven game which will tell a story from a, quote, perspective never seen before in any storytelling medium.
Not listening. Not listening.
Compulsion Games have released a new update for last year's We Happy Few. The arcade mode introduces 3 new ways to play called Survival, Night's Watch, and Sandbox.
Nintendo published Final Fantasy VII on the Switch out of the blue yesterday. The game has been expected on the platform for a while, although no release date was given prior to the launch. A strange way to do it, but we like it.
Open world RPG Outward launched yesterday on Steam. The game is developed by 9 Dots Studios and published by Deep Silver. Looks like the publisher has crawled back to Steam after all the Epic Store backlash with Metro.
So there you have your news nuggets for today. There was a load, and there was like 12, 13, 14, depends how many we cut out nuggets today. There was loads of stuff, and then we've had 4 other stories, and we've got another story. I mean, where else would you go for such great jam-packed content? Nowhere else on the internet. Let me know. Tell me if there's any news outlets that does it like we do, because there's not. There really isn't, right? From that high, now it's time for the joke of the day. Well, you got to hand it to short people because they can't reach it themselves.
That's how I spend most of my life, because I'm taller than quite a lot of people. So
just handing things to short people.
That's
the service that you bring to the humanity. That's
I love the memes where it's like how to address short people, and it's totally just taking their piss. It's like really patronising, like, oh, what, you little, and like tussling their hair and shit. It's makes me laugh.
And that joke comes in from Metal Shark. Again, dude, thanks for your service. And last up today, Apple have announced their new Xbox Game Pass style streaming subscription service for iOS. It will be called Apple Arcade. The service will be available from the autumn. Apple say a catalogue of over 100 games will be available when the service launches, although no price was announced. Among the games they announced so far for the service are the following: Hot Lava, Where Cards Fall, The Pathless, Sonic Racing, Beyond a Steel Sky, Lego Brawls, Oceanhorn 2, Knights of the Lost Realm, Protection, First Light, and Enter the Construct. Apple said in the press release, Apple is not just handpicking the games in Apple Arcade, but also contributing to the development costs and working closely with creators to bring the games to life. Made by some of the most critically acclaimed games developers in the world, Apple Arcade games will entertain customers with incredibly fun gameplay and immersive stories, while capturing imaginations with original art and music. Apple also announced they will be working with 32 different publishers and developers, including Disney, Devolver, Cartoon Network, and Platinum Games. You're welcome. You want to fucking cut any of that in the edit? Fucking nailed it all the way through. pretty much. You're fucking welcome, man. You're honestly welcome.
I must admit, I totally spaced out because it was so smooth. I was just like, wonder what I'm going to have for lunch today.
That's how interesting an Apple streaming service is, to be honest, isn't it? You're zoning out. What? Apple apps from the iOS store you get to pay monthly for. You're joking, right? It's not a joke, guys. This is real.
We've had real. Joke of the day. This bit's the real bit.
Yeah, this is your bonus joke for today. So what do you guys think about another subscription service, another monthly payment from your bank account? Have we had enough of those? Yeah, I mean, there's just so many out there. Now Apple wants some more of your money on top of all the other money that they want off you anyway. I'm not happy with it. Let me know what you think down below.
So that is it for your Wednesday news roundup. There were loads of stories in there. Make sure you let us know down below what you think about any of them. Check out the links in the description if you want to follow any of them up. If you like the content we're creating and want to help us make it, go on over to patreon.com/prettygoodgaming. You'll get early access to our podcast and a bunch of other stuff. We'll be back this time on Friday. I've been Henry. He's been Gaz. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.
I saw a fortune teller the other day. She told me I would come into some money. Last night I fucked a girl called Penny, so that's weird.
Wow.
And we're demonetized.
Wow.
No, let's try another one. That's got to be cut, right? I can't have that one. That's no good.